Yeah. So something slipped. Your tight junction got opened up. One of those nuts slipped through, and your body flipped, and it put it on a do not fly list. Anytime it's just gonna flip. Great question, brother.
I developed very weak acid in my stomach, okay, and it caused some problems. But when you go to the doctor, they give you pills to lower your acid. And so I'm researching, I'm like, man, my acid does not need to be lowered. My acid needs to be strengthened. And I'm going back with my wife, because she's been taking acid reflux, I don't know, over 15 years.
You'll never cure it.
And I'm like, and I told her they want to increase her dosage. And I'm saying, Cartine, I'm telling you, you got to increase the acid to heal it. You're not going to get it by and that it's amazing how that is the answer if you go to the doctor, and it's just not.
Yeah, and that's a great question. So, okay, so again, remember how I talked about cholesterol earlier at the very beginning, and I said, look, they have got this. Man, they are lying to y'all, okay? It's bad science. Cholesterol is one of the most important things in your body. Doesn't kill anybody, right? But most of the people that are funding these studies, you got to understand, are the drug companies. You and I don't have enough money to fund one of these studies. Now, if I'm a drug company that specializes in acid reflux medication and I fund the study, it's going to say whatever I say it's going to say. Come on, think about it. Why would I work against my own interest? But as Christians, I want you to look at it as from the perspective that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. God did not make a mistake. Now, that's the perspective I wrote my book on. That's the perspective that I'm teaching you on. That's the perspective I take. Now, from that perspective, you realize that, there's stomach acid that you did not put there in your stomach. So it was there from the beginning. So it needs to be there. But what they don't tell you, and this is, it's a language. I'm telling you, language is like magical. They tell you that you're producing too much stomach acid, okay? They never tell you the difference between strong and weak. If your stomach acid is weak, your body's going to produce more because it's not doing its job. If your stomach acid is strong, your body doesn't need to produce any more because it can do the job. So if I eat a cookie and I have weak stomach acid, that cookie is going to stay in my stomach for a few days. But if I have strong stomach acid, that cookie melts in 10 minutes. Now, if it stays in my stomach for a few days, there's bacteria in my stomach, H. pylori, notably. H. pylori is kept in check when the stomach acid is strong. It kills it. But if the stomach acid is weak, they just reproduce themselves. Bing, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 32, 64, and so on and so forth. They love sugar, okay? These germs love sugar or carbs, okay? So remember how I said most of the calories we eat are like refined stuff? White sugar, white powder, white rice, white bread, white this, white that, okay? They've removed the fiber, but they still kept all the sugar. In fact, they added sugar in this stuff. So these guys are having a field day, and they're fermenting that sugar. And fermentation is taking in something and releasing it as another thing. So imagine they're eating it, and then they're farting. And that fart is gas. Now that gas has to go somewhere. It can either go down, or it can go up. Now, if it goes up, you have what's called heartburn. Right? You feel it, right? And so you can even breathe out and you're like, oh, you can taste it, right? Heartburn. It's not acid per se, it's the gas that's being released from fermentation. So it's burning your esophagus. You understand? But your doctor has been taught that, we need to shut down acid production, which is the stupidest thing anybody could do. Now, it's what we learned. I'm not calling anybody stupid. I'm saying it is the stupidest thing anybody could do. Because if you shut down acid production, you create a whole world of other things that's going to lead to any other number of chronic conditions. If God intended for you to have acid there and you shut down the acid, you've created the perfect storm for more germs to fester. Things to now pass through your stomach, pass through your gut without being completely digested. So your ability to absorb nutrient goes down the tube. So you're not absorbing all the nutrients you should get. So things are going to start breaking down. I don't know your wife's health status, but I would imagine that things are starting to happen, that, for a woman her age, probably shouldn't be experiencing, right? Okay, well, it's natural. I'm not a psychic. I can tell that's what's going to happen because God made the body a certain way. And so now you have food passing through your stomach that's not completely digested, and it's going to cause all sorts of issues along your gut, damaging the digestive tract. That tight junction that's supposed to be tight, now it's being loosened because things are constantly damaging it, so things might slip through and cause any number of reaction. It's going to lead to a whole host of issues in the long run. People who take acid. By the way, when acid reflux medication were created, they knew this, by the way. You were not supposed to take it for more than 3 months. They used to warn people, 3 months and you're off. Today, people are on this stuff for years. They conveniently forget. You ask some of the help. I went to school. I got my doctorate, and I didn't learn that. I had to research it for my book, right? I said, wait, what? Yeah, 3 months is the max, 12 weeks, and then you're never supposed to take it again. People take it for years. And I could go on and on about all the things that can go wrong with, that will go wrong with you when you take that stuff. But really, it's masterful. It's deception. You don't have too much acid. You're producing too much acid because the acid is weak. So your body just like insulin. They say type 2 diabetics make no insulin. They make more insulin. The insulin just doesn't work.